folks, my name is Jürgen, aka Nerd and Proud of It, and Destiny has brought you to my channel today to have a look at the Wizards of the Coast 25-year-old product catalog from 1998 I got here. This is 2023, that means this product catalog is 25 years old. I actually found that in a storage room when we cleaned it up when I worked for the Dutch distributor, which, this thing had been lying there for quite a while, I guess. And I think it's interesting. It was printed in the US. It has its own number, like product number, and yeah, there is some very, very cool stuff in there. I will take the time to just go through it. It will take a bit because it's quite a big catalog, I have to say. They released a lot of products back then as well, but it contains like D&D and all the different versions of D&D. Peter Atkinson here, he does an introduction work. I mean, these kind of things are awesome. Peter Atkinson, for who don't know, is one of the founders of Wizards of the Coast and also the founder of Gen Con. And I know him personally. Luckily, he's a very, very nice guy. He invited me to Gen Con once as a guest of honor, which is pretty nice. He calls himself the janitor. That's the kind of humor the Wizards of the Coast guys had back then before they were taken over by Hasbro. TSR was even a brand before Wizards of the Coast. They had a lot of books, like the Dragonlance books. I still have some with the TSR logo on them. There's even like a content page here which shows us what is in this catalog, which I think is amazing. I honestly am amazed. amazed. I honestly am amazed, let's say it like this. I just can't think of another word. That by how much work has been going into this product catalog. I think personally, I miss this kind of details. These kind of details in the current sets. The sets are quite okay. Don't diss the sets. R&D is okay, but all the other stuff, like the little details, they made a product catalog which is just amazing back then, and that's what Wizards of the Coast was famous for, quality with everything. And now they are lacking quality on so many things, in my opinion. So yeah, I think it's very, very cool to see. Starting off with Dungeons and Dragons here, different Dungeons and Dragons books, adventures, everything you can think of. Dungeons and Dragons back then was, I think, the most important brand, even more important than Magic the Gathering, which you will see in this product catalog as well, because Magic the Gathering is represented, of course. Yeah, there was a whole explanation of which product, which Dungeons and Dragons product was for which customer. But you will see Magic the Gathering later in the catalog, and it's still pretty present, but it was more focused on Dungeons and Dragons back then. And that's 1998, when Magic, I think, was doing very well still, but not so well as in the beginning. So I think they were like throttling back a bit. Forgotten Realms, of course, I love the novels. I still have a lot of the novels. Actually, if I look at this, I have this one. What else is on here? Yes, I definitely have this one, which is very, very cool, with Artemis and Treri and Wolfgar. I have the left one of the middle ones here, and I have the hardcover of the murder book on the left. Yes, I love Drizzt and the novels of the Dark Elf trilogy, and of course it's not only a trilogy anymore, but it started out with a trilogy. Menzoberranzan and Underworld and so on. A lot of books as well. They released a lot of fantasy books back then. I don't think they released that much books anymore. I'm not quite sure. I know the Dragonlance books are with Hasbro still, with Wizards of the Coast still, because there just was like a a lawsuit from Market Wise and Tracy Hickman that had contracts with Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast didn't honor them. That was like last year. It was a big thing, especially if you like Dragonlance. We'll come to Dragonlance a little later. Ravenloft, very successful back then. Of course, it's vampires and everybody loves vampires. I had a couple of adventures from Ravenloft, and you had these different sub things from D&D, like Forgotten Realms, Ravenloft, Dragonlance. But yeah, that's a thing of the past, and I think everything is like just D&D now. Magic the Gathering, the books. They had an extra section here for the books in this product catalog, which is nice. You even had a calendar back then with all the artwork, which was pretty cool. Not a lot of books, but a couple. Dragonlance, like I said, very, very big fan of Dragonlance. I think when I was 11, I found 2 Dragonlance books, and I love Caramon, I love Raistlin, I love the Kender, Tolpan, awesome. And I bought these 2 Dragonlance books at a clearance, and I thought like, yeah, these are 2 of the same books, and they were like $2, not even euros back then, but German Deutschmark back then. So for 4 Deutschmark, which is like €2, it's like $1.50 or something, I bought these 2 Dragonlance books, and I read them and I loved them, and I think I was like 11, 12, and that's when I started getting into fantasy. And at 13, 14, I went to my first LGS to actually buy Dragonlance books, where I encountered Magic the Gathering and other games, of course, Dungeons and Dragons. I was playing the Dark Eye before Dungeons and Dragons, and I still prefer the Dark Eye. They even had Marvel back then, the superhero adventure game, pretty nice. And they have a lot of brands that are not around anymore. I am not sure if I have seen that one before, actually. And I can remember I, of course, had a look at this catalog before, because I have it, like I said, I found it in like a storage locker, which we cleaned out at the Dutch distributor when I worked with Magic the Gathering and with Wizards of the Coast. Dragon Dice. We had these at our LGS, and they wanted to throw this away. Oh, they actually had like a Marvel thing as well with dice. Pretty nice. Dice games are still a thing. I actually am playing Dice Throne at the moment with my son, Marvel Dice Throne. And it's good fun, but it's a combination with cards and dice, which is pretty nice. And yeah, like I said, they wanted to throw this away, and I said like, I like this kind of stuff, can I keep it? And of course they let me take it along. I got a couple of other Magic the Gathering books as well. Maybe I will look at it next time. We actually had this display in our LGS, I think. That was pretty awesome. You had all the role-playing books in here. Yeah, it's fun that they have. Oh, nice. That's the normal books. You had these Wizards of the Coast displays here, promotional material, very nice. Yeah, I remember these. TSR on the top. That's pretty cool. All right, folks, the goodies. Magic the Gathering. I know it's a big catalog. I said buckle up in the beginning. What did we have in 1998? Portal 2, the different SKUs. Very nice. Most of the products only had 1 or 2 SKUs, which is cool. Some of them had 3, like the pre-constructed decks. But yeah, mostly like the starter decks and the booster packs. Portal 2 here. Alright, starter deck without eye hook. The hook, that's the plastic thing on the back of the starter deck, so you can hang it in a shelf or something, with which is built to like it's like a blister, like a normal blister thing, but they had these little plastic hooks glued on the back of the starters. I think I have some sealed starters with these hooks back on there. 5th edition, yeah, that was 1998. Very nice. Jester's cap here on the box. Graduate to new levels of play with the original Magic the Gathering Triumph 5th edition is a standard Magic the Gathering set, a bridge between Magic the Gathering Portal and more advanced Magic the Gathering. Nice, very cool. 5th edition 2-player starters. I remember these. Oh, nice. Very, very cool. I don't have... I have 5th edition starters sealed still, but not the 2-player ones. Tempest, of course. Very cool. Expert players. Also available in German, French, Italian, Portuguese, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese, and Korean. Even back then in 1998. Nice. Tempest decks and Stronghold, of course. Very cool. I love it. It's amazing to see how old that stuff is. We got more Stronghold here. Got Ursa Saga on the right. Very nice. Exodus, of course. Exodus theme decks. Wow, 98 was a good year. Tempest, Ursa Saga. Oh, the 1998 World Championship decks. Very funny. These are pretty cool as well. With the gold border. Arc Studios. Can't even remember that. Okay, Battletech. Yeah, I played Battletech. I had a couple of the trading card game starters, I remember. But I mainly played the tabletop game, and I still have it, and I still have like miniatures of it. But the trading card game was around then in its 3rd edition, as you just saw, which is pretty funny because this trading card game, I don't think it exists anymore. Robo Rally still exists today, still successful, I think. Robo Rally family games. Ooh, Wizards of the Coast actually had family games back then. I think they either sold that or phased it all out. The Duelist, very funny. Yeah, that was a good magazine. It actually has an official Wizards of the Coast SKU. Interesting. Duelist is the official trading card game magazine from Wizards of the Coast. Very nice. I didn't even know. I thought that was independent. These deck boxes, I remember a buddy of mine had the one with the Craw Giant Legends, the green one here on the left. And I was envious because we had like 1 shipment of those and they were sold out right away and I couldn't get them. The pins are quite cool as well. I think they are worth some money at the moment. Not too shabby. The 5 Rings, Legend of the 5 Rings, like a Asian themed trading card game. That was a pretty big thing. I think that was around for a very long time. Is that still around? Do you know? Let me know in the comments. Dune back then was a thing. Rage. I had starters, yes, and I had boosters, and Rage was pretty cool. I liked it. That had been around since 94 as well, so that was successful for a couple of years. All these games are gone. It's crazy to see nowadays when we say like, yeah, this trading card game will make it, this won't make it. That was even past or after my time. I didn't really have Gen Con advertising and all the different publishers of the books. All the different Wizards of the Coast offices in Europe. Very cool. I like it. Nice. I've been actually to the Belgium office quite a lot. There's even a question at Wizards of the Coast. You could ask questions back then. You're not allowed to anymore. I wonder if that email address still exists. Yeah, I've been to Belgium. Turnout, where the office was. Cool. Folks, yeah, it's been a long video. But I think it's amazing to have a look at what Wizards of the Coast did like 25 years ago. Crazy stuff. Pretty cool to see. Thanks a lot for watching, folks. Thanks a lot to my subs. And of course, thanks a lot to my Patreon. If you are watching without being a sub or a Patreon, then maybe you might consider to become a subscriber. That would be really cool. It would really help the channel. Leave me comments as well. What do you think about this kind of content? I still have this old stuff. I keep everything. I've been a collector all my life. I don't throw stuff away. Yeah, the wife gets crazy about it, but that's how it is and that's who I am. I got product catalogs which weren't worth anything back then, and now it's really cool to look at. That's funny how time works, right? I mean, who else keeps that kind of stuff? I know you are collectors out there as well, and probably some of you do, but it's not the majority. Very cool. Stay healthy, folks. Stay frosty. Have a great weekend. Thanks a lot for listening. I talk to you next time. Bye bye.